Hello, everyone. I'm Daniel Montgomery here with Cordell Martin. We are here to discuss the most recent episode of Dancing with the Stars, which we both predicted 100% correctly, I must add.
There we go.
Two of only 4 people who predicted everything correctly. That Bonner Bolton would get the low score, that Bonner Bolton would be eliminated, that Normani Corday would get the high score, and that there would be 10 or more 10s given out by the judges. So congratulations to us. We're the best. But the one interesting thing was I did not expect that kind of judge's comment from Len to Bonner Bolton. About basically telling him no uncertain terms really that he should have been eliminated sooner. Which is actually the judge's fault too, but just saying.
Exactly. Like they did that to themselves. So it's like, Lynn, now you want to say something because your favorite contestant, Nancy, was eliminated last week, so he really had it out for definitely David in his second dance. But to your point, I'm happy that Bonner is, finally out of his misery. It looks like he was over the whole competition. And with Sharon, I think she just kind of hit a brick road that there was not anything else that she could really teach him, in terms of new moves or helping him express himself in the dance. So.
Yeah, it does seem like Bonner was frustrated and a little bit kind of. I can understand that also milking his injury sort of thing. Let's do another inspirational dance based on how you almost died. Come on, let's do it. It's a little bit it's like he knew he wasn't. I mean, he's not stupid. He knows he's not one of the best dancers in the competition. He knows that he's lasted Heather. He knows how well she danced. He knows how well Nancy Kerrigan danced. Even Nick Viall was getting higher scores by the time he was eliminated than Bonner Bolton was. So he really kind of knew, he could read the writing on the wall, and it was, and in that sense, I think Len is right in that a happy ending is only happy if it doesn't last too long, because then it gets sour, and it's true. And now I'm feeling the same way about David Ross, who I really, really like, and I don't want to see him get into the finals because that's going to feel like, it really should have been Simone, Normani, and Rashad in the finals out of this group, and he really doesn't belong in that group for the finals, and I think he knows it, and I think the judges know it, and I think anyone who even votes for him knows it. So I'm kind of hoping he gets to bow out next week at a very respectful, very wonderful 4th place finish. Kudos. I will be the first to congratulate him for doing so well, as long as he doesn't make the finals.
I know. I'm on the same boat as you. I'm hoping that, he ends in the semifinals. I think it was a great showing for him considering he has no dance experience. He's the first Major League Baseball player to appear on the show. So I think he should definitely place in 4th. However, being a long-term viewer of Dancing with the Stars, at the end of the day, it's a reality show. And what sells? Drama and controversy. And this season has been nothing short of that in terms of the surprise elimination. So just following that trend, I can see David being called first to safety and in the finals, and all heck is going to break loose. So,
because I mean that sort of echoes what they did a few weeks ago when it was the men versus the women, and the best dancers were on the women's team, and all the, no offense, the lesser dancers were on the men's team, and so they said the men are all safe, and so you knew someone was getting screwed on the women's side, and that was the night Heather Morris was eliminated. I never would have imagined at the beginning of the season. I legitimately thought this season could have gone, the top 6 would have been 5 women and like Rashad, because it was so stacked with female talent. but they just kept dropping them early. And, you know, even Charo was a little bit better than where she finished. I think I've already forgotten. Erica Jane she had the talent. She didn't quite have the you know, she was a little bit too reserved and a little bit too limiting herself to the kind of one sexy persona that she does, and so she didn't show until later on that she had a lot more dimensionality to her talent. But she had the moves.
Exactly.
And so there were all these talented women, and you know, we could end up with only one woman in the final if Simone is eliminated, which seems unthinkable to me.
I know. Yeah, so if the event that David is in the finals, we joining him.
See, that's the question. I mean, Normani is safe. I don't think with a top of the leaderboard, perfect score, and a near perfect score, I don't think there's any way mathematically to get her out. Or at least they would require every other planet to align so perfectly that I think she's safe in the finals. It's weird. I think Simone finished lower than Rashad on the judges leaderboard, but I think Simone probably has a stronger fan base. So what's that balance? Is her fan base stronger than his scores, Rashad's scores? You know, so if David ends up knocking one of them out, which one would it be? It's hard to say.
Yeah, because just reading articles about just people's recaps and reviews of the night, of course, you know, David has his fans and had an emotional waltz that people really loved. Normani's contemporary has been talk of the town in terms of Twitter and just think pieces about her performance. So I think that buzz is going to carry her to the finals. But then also with Simone and the whole issue with the judges' comments and the comment that she made that, you know, you don't win gold medals by smiling. I think people are going to rally behind her and be like, hey, you know, she's America's sweetheart and the judges are being mean towards her. We need to rally behind her and get her in the final. So that could hurt Rashad because, you know, all three of the other contestants have their little angles going into the finals that, you know, Rashad went first. He had a so-so jive, but then his Argentine tango was okay as well, although it was a bit overscored. So
actually, now that I think of it, you know, you see this a lot of times in reality competitions where fans are voting. You saw it like on American Idol, for instance. You know, a contestant would have bad night after bad night, and the voters would keep saving them, and then they have a good night, and then the voters think they're safe, and then they're eliminated.
Yep.
And so Rashad kind of had that. Like, he went first. He's at risk of kind of getting forgotten after everyone else performs. His dances weren't like earth-shatteringly good, so it wasn't like, you know, when you think about Monday Night Show, you don't think, oh my God, that those Rashad routines were amazing. He's had some of those in the past, but in terms of this night, they weren't like the biggest hits for him. And yet he was scored very well, and he wasn't criticized that harshly, which makes him seem fairly safe. I mean, he got almost a perfect score for his second dance. I agree that was overscored. I actually preferred Simone's trio dance to his trio dance. So I was, and they were so hard on Simone. So
yeah,
Rashad could be in trouble for that reason. It's really, really hard to say. I really, you know, but at the same time, I'm kind of hoping that, you know, I think to a certain degree, a lot of fans are like, they like someone like David Ross up to a point where it's like, oh, we want to see this guy keep going. But when you get a chance to picking the finals, the actual fans who are voting are going to be like, well, do I want him in the finals?
exactly.
And so maybe they'll, like the judges have been. The judges have been very generous scoring the last few weeks, and you know, this Monday night they were a lot stricter to Bonner and David than they have been in previous weeks. You know, so maybe fans voting at home would be like, you know, now it's time to get real. This really needs to be Simone, Normani, and Rashad in the final.
Hopefully. Fingers crossed.
And something that you pointed out to me, that I'm just now looking through the Dancing with the Stars history to kind of confirm this, but I'm fairly sure you're right, that this would be the first all African-American Dancing with the Stars final if David Ross is eliminated and we're left with those other three. which, I mean, so honestly, there's another reason, you know, at Dancing with the Stars fans, if David Ross makes the finals, then obviously, you know, America's racist. That's just the only it's the only possible interpretation of that result. You know, Beyonce loses the Grammy, the Patriots win the Super Bowl. David Ross makes Dancing with the Stars final. It's just that kind of year.
Exactly.
So yeah, this past week at Gold Derby's predictions, Normani officially overtook Simone as the front runner for the season. And if she hadn't then, she would have this week, because, you know, that contemporary routine followed by that jive routine, you know, those scores and Simone kind of struggling with the emotional connection. It really does seem like the momentum is hers, and I feel like she's got the fan support. You know, I feel like she's got the scores. And you know, I mean, Simone at this point would have to have a really enormous breakthrough next week to get through or to win the Mirrorball Trophy. I think you know if she makes the final, she's fairly safe, I think, for second place. But she needs a big breakthrough to get that Mirrorball.
And hopefully, I haven't had confirmation as to what dance styles will be dancing next week. But hopefully, the dance styles that are selected for her are really challenging and really show a different side to Simone. So like maybe the Argentine tango, or let's see, what's another dance she hasn't done yet. And maybe like the waltz or something that's going to show something different and new, because she can do the jive. Of course, she's going to kill it. And if they want an easy 40, they can give that to her to do the whole comeback, you know, angle. But I think if they can get her something to challenge her and really stretch her outside of her comfort zone, I think that would be great.
I actually think the opposite might be true, in the sense that if they give her something like the jive that's in her wheelhouse, it will work against her, because they'll just give her the same criticism. It's like, oh, you know, we knew you could do. They want to see her stretch emotionally. They want an emotional dance from her. So they, you know, what they need to show her is, you know, here is a dance style that's more passionate or more intimate, or, you know, like a waltz, like an Argentine tango, that's gonna force her, if you know, to bring out that other side of her, if she can. Like maybe she won't be able to do it even then, but if she's going to have a chance at the Mirrorball Trophy, she needs to have that emotional breakthrough that the judges want to see, and that I think fans would like to see too. They would like to connect with her in that way as well, because they're connecting that way with Normani, and they're even connecting that way with Rashad, even though I don't think Rashad has the polish that either of the other two have. So she needs dance styles that will give her an opportunity to show off the connection.
I agree. To your point, the other three couples, even David to a certain extent with his waltz and his quick step, he's able to bring that relatability factor to his dances that, you know, is easy to connect for the viewers. And, you know, Normani in the beginning, that was something that she was struggling with. And one of the things I was afraid of, like, if she doesn't get that connection, she could be, you know, eliminated early. But I think Val has been playing it smart and really showing the improvement with Normani, because someone as talented as her, you can just write her off like, oh, she's a talented dancer, I don't need to vote for her, X, Y, and Z. But I think Val has been really good at strategically showing different sides to her as they get closer to the finale.
Yeah, and couldn't have asked for better on Monday night to do this really emotional, like, underground railroad contemporary routine followed by a cowgirl jive. It's like it's you know, it's like this is the Emmys. It's like impact and range, you know, right there. That's your Emmy-winning performance right there. Show them everything you got.
Exactly. And speaking of the Emmys, I think the contemporary routine is definitely something that Val should consider submitting. I'm not for sure if he's ever been nominated for a choreography.
I don't think so. I'm looking that up right now.
Yeah, so I think that would be a great performance for him to submit. And then also maybe like the Argentine tango or the paso, I think will also be some great work for him to submit as well. I did hear that Normani is supposedly doing a waltz, and she's going to be dedicating that to her family in New Orleans. I believe she's a Hurricane Katrina survivor, so expect more waterworks.
Over. It's just give her the trophy. I mean, just give it to her.
I know.
And for that, at that point, she might as well do a dance in honor of Bonner Bolton's neck injury because he didn't want to do it anymore. But she'll do it.
I know. Just take everyone's backstories and just create this big collage dedicated to everyone on the season and just end there.
And but one thing I've definitely one reason I'm really hoping to see Simone make the finals at least, if not win, make the finals at least, is because I want to get that Simone Biles freestyle.
Yes, me too.
That's going to be because, I mean, her gymnastic skill is such that it doesn't necessarily perfectly translate to any one dance, although there are elements that are good for the Charleston and elements that are good for other more acrobatic moments in the contemporary and all that sort of stuff. But freestyle, all bets are off. She can be doing those, she can do the Biles, the gymnastics move that's named after her, if she wants to. And she can throw everything at the wall. And I think that would be a perfect 10. Perfect 10s across the board moment for her would be a freestyle.
Oh, definitely.
So I if nothing else, I want to see that. I don't want to see necessarily what David Ross has to do for a freestyle because I'm sure it'll be fun, but it's not going to be what Simone can offer. So
exactly. As long as David's freestyle isn't anywhere near Marie Osmond's disastrous freestyle. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but if not, look up. Tragic.
Well, describe a little bit. Like, did she fall? Were there lots of?
It was like a doll house theme. So she was like dressed up as a doll with the big two ponytails and makeup, and it was really weird and awkward. And yeah.
Well. On that note. Fingers crossed for next week. Are you predicting David Ross to be eliminated, or are you wavering?
I will probably have my final decision within the next day or two. I'm leaning towards David. I feel like, to your point, that the audiences are getting smart now, and they're like, okay, we want to see the best of the remaining stars in the finals. But then I can also see Rashad going. I think Simone has the fan base, regardless of her scores, to make it to the finals. And Normani, enough said about her journey. So I think it's going to be a guy, but I'm not for sure if it's going to be Rashad or David. So
I think you did mention that you had a theory that they might be they might know how the judges might have an idea of how the viewer votes came out, and that might affect how they score things. Which, if that's the case, and they want to see the Normani, Rashad, Simone final, and they know that Simone has the fan base more than Rashad does, they might have given him the higher score to give him, so she can get the votes to catch him, and those three would be lifted up into the finals. But that's this week in Dancing with the Stars conspiracy theories. So anything else you're looking forward to next week?
I'm just looking forward to, great dancing. I'm really hoping that Simone is able just to, put her chin up. It's a new dance, a new week, and really just attack it. I just felt that her spirit was broken, after the judges' comments. And, I feel that Sasha's going to have to put in a lot of work to really build up her confidence. I could just see her just going through the motions, like, whatever. If I'm eliminated, I'm eliminated. If I make it to the finals, whatever. So hopefully Sasha's able to give her that final push. And then also I'm excited to see what Rashad will have up his sleeve. I know Emma really wants to get into the finals. I believe it will be her first time and Sasha's first time in the finals.
I believe so, yeah. Definitely Sasha. He's only been on like 2 or 3 past seasons. So yeah, I think it would be Sasha and Emma's first time.
Yeah, and I'm not. Will it be Lindsay's first time?
No, Lindsay's been at least once before. I think she had Alex Scarlatos a couple of seasons ago, and who's now being the subject of a Clint Eastwood movie that's coming up, apparently.
He dances stars. I mean, opens a lot of doors. I mean, Normani could be the next big thing. So,
well, she has to stop a terrorist attack on a train first. Although I'm sure she would do it with lovely style and you know, amazing when stopping an attack.
Exactly.
So with that, well, I want to say thank you, Cordell, for joining me again this week, and thanks to everyone for watching. We will see you again next week.
All right. Have a good night.